Well, last month, Chris Tomlin, actually one of the last songs y'all sang was a Chris Tomlin song. He's a friend of ours, and he's done a lot to help our community. And in fact, he's doing a lot to help Sorry Bari. He was in town, and so we were spending the day with him, and then that night he was doing a show. And so he said, hey, why don't you come and do devotions for me and the guys, and then stick around for the show. And so we gave him a blanket because he's helping raise money for the community center there. And during the show, he sort of dialed it down, he set the guitar down, and he picked up this blanket, the Sorry Bari blanket, and he held it so gently, and he held it with such, I think, reverence and honor, and he started to tell the story of these women, and he started to give them names, he started to dignify them and humanize them, and then he held up the blanket and he said, and you know what? This one was made by a woman, and he looked for the tag and he said, a woman named Mukti. And I'm an off-the-charts rationalist. When I see somebody crying, I'm looking at them, I'm just like, why does your body involuntarily respond like that? But I sat there in this arena with thousands of screaming kids in this crazy light show, and I just started sobbing. And I was like, man, this woman, for her entire adult life, has been tormented in this little tiny room, and she's probably been called horrible, horrible things. But in this space with thousands of people, she's being honored. Her name is being spoken with reverence. And so I called the community center that night, and I was sounded like a crazy person. I was like, I'm not drunk. I just can't believe it. Could you tell Mukti? Could you tell her? She can't imagine, but could you tell her that her name was spoken with love? That there's thousands of people that are praying with her in her journey to freedom, in her journey to hope. Right? And so she's not a cause, and she's not a label. And finally, she's not a project, right? So the last thing is moving from causes to labels to project. I think that when we talk about transparency and friendship towards accountability for service, I think what we need to be really, really careful about in whatever it is that you do is that you don't reduce people to projects. People are not something to be fixed, and you know that. And you know that when you've been treated like that, it doesn't feel good. And so we can't walk away. We can't just walk away from somebody when we get to know them. And so I want to